Another tool we can measure to see how we did on our paddock sizing with our grazing stick and our brick samples is come out here and actually go through the paddock that we just moved cattle out of. So there are two things that we need to really check to make sure that the cattle are getting the proper nutrition through the forages and to see what kind of residual we left after our graze. So number one, as goofy as it sounds, we need to check manure pats. So what we can see here, I'll bend down beside this manure here, and so what we want in this manure to look like is a really good pancake type consistency, a pancake batter, excuse me. What this indicates too is this little dimple right here in the middle. That tells us that that is a perfect consistency. And what we can also see here is that the flies and the beetles and the bugs with all these holes in it are starting to break that manure down already after day one and taking that into the soil and feeding the soil microbes and fertilizing that. So that's why it's important to have proper manure distribution through proper stock density to have manure pats as close as you can get together to be well fertilized. So thing number two is come back here and we can look at what type of residual or leaf that we left. So if your calculations are correct with your grazing stick, this should be almost ideal every time. Granted, there are rain situations that, you know, it rains an inch overnight and it turns into mud and various things like that. But in overall, and we're doing these in broad terms and in averages, not one specific thing. So we come here and look. So this particular fescue plant was not grazed at all. You can tell that by the tips of the leaves are still at a point. There's no rough edges and things like that. But then we come just directly here beside it and we've got some timothy, orchard grass, some foxtail, and it still has at least half, if not better, of the plant leaf than what we measured it at. So that is fantastic. We can see that this is not overgrazed, and you think, well, aren't we wasting forages by leaving over half and some plants not even grazed? It totally depends on if your main focus is cattle production or soil health. And I think there's a perfect happy medium between the two. So if we peel this residual back, what we can see is actually some dry matter and organic matter that is from the last time we grazed, which was about 60 days ago. So this is in the process of breaking down and feeding that soil biology in there. So by peeling this layer back and pulling that up, that is excellent soil coverage and armor, also food for the soil biology. So we love peeling that back and seeing that. And plus we can feel how much moisture is in here just from the morning dew. So again, keeping everything cool, wet, and fed and protected is very important.